Hello. If you're on my channel, you probably already know that there's a new trailer for Mandalorian Season 2. We are getting this on October 30th, which is also the date my YouTube strike goes away, so that's convenient. But let's see what's in here. It's pretty short, only a minute and a half. Oh no, the ship's really beat up.
Show me the one safety deemed such destruction. You must reunite it with its own kind.
Where?
This you must determine.
Ooh, okay. What? Okay, so Tatooine.
Tell of battles.
Okay, so we get Tatooine, we get Banthas, we get um uh, a fruitless, maybe impossible task here. Like, we don't know anything about the species really, considering that Yoda is a long-standing character. We don't know that more of them exist at this point in the storyline. We just don't know anything about them.
Between Mandalore the Great and an order of sorcerers called Jedi.
Jedi reference, okay.
You expect me to search
We also
the
don't know
galaxy
how many of
to
them
find
exist
this
at this
creature
point.
into a race of enemy sorcerers.
Not a new canon anyways.
This is the way.
Ooh. Ooh, X-Wings. So either the Resistance or the New Republic is going to be directly involved, which I'm actually excited to see. We've gotten some glimpses of what the New Republic kind of looked like in a lot of the books, but never, like, besides that small attack in The Mandalorian Season 1, nothing else yet.
You know this is no place for a child.
Wherever I go, he goes.
So I've heard.
There we go. Well, there's a Zabrak, right? We had Gamorreans in the fighting pit too. Okay. There's a lot in here. So we can see what's happening here with The Mandalorian, right? This is the series. Disney's going to continue to try to capture that nostalgia original trilogy fan demographic here. They got a whole bunch of stuff. The TIE fighters with the folding wings, which we saw in season 1, are pretty cool. Yeah, that's a pretty sure that's a Zabrak. And we had, what else is in here? They jump him. Look at this guy's belt here. It looks familiar. I can't quite place it though. Does it kind of look like Kylo Ren's belt? I think it's his belt doesn't have like this gap in the middle, but whatever. The fact that it appears familiar just shows the care they're giving to the character designs and costume designs. Like, we get Gamorreans who like have somewhat more human proportions than the ones in Return of the Jedi, but they look great still. Like, these did not look out of place when you were watching the trailer, and I'm sure they're easier to do than the ones in Return of the Jedi for sure.
Go, he goes.
I don't feel good about the ship being beat up like that. We get more scouts. It's weird. You know, I don't know which direction they're going to go with how they portray the Imperial Remnant at this point, because any Imperials still fighting during this part of the timeline are basically warlords, because the actual Empire itself has already surrendered and or self-destructed on purpose. So anything left will be just warlords who took what they wanted. We get these two coming back. I don't know how I feel about this or not. I like these characters, but like I don't want just a season 1 repeat, right? So they got to be careful not to overuse them, and when they do use them, to use them for good effect. Yes, we saw the X-Wings here, which I'm thinking are probably New Republic. I don't really want to see any Resistance stuff. It's way too early for the actual Resistance. So now that I think about it, they've got to be New Republic, and that's nice. This is a period we don't have a lot of coverage of as far as what was going on in the greater galaxy, as like politically. So we'll have to see how this goes. We get this person. I won't say Jedi because, you know, Lucasfilm has been kind of tricky with their trailers. They make you think one thing. Like, do I think this person's force sensitive? For sure. But them putting the lines about Jedi over their appearance makes me wonder, like, oh, this is a bait and switch, and maybe this is some other kind of force user that just happened to sense the child. We'll see how that goes. We get some Korans here, you know. More OT aliens. That's been a hallmark of The Mandalorian. Once again, just piping into that original trilogy lover demographic, which I don't hate it. I like it. I definitely like it. It's nice to have familiar things instead of things you saw for 20 frames in a sequel trilogy movie. We get like full-on Bantha and Tusken here. All the details. Did you ever think you'd see a Bantha that looks that good? It looks good. And so that's got to be Tatooine. That's the only planet we know of that have Tuskens, although Tatooine was also one of the only planets we knew that had Jawas before we saw them on Quill's planet. So, you know, we get this street is really reminiscent of the one from the planet on season 1 where Mando got all his jobs. I'm sure it's not the same, but like, well, it could be even. I don't know. There's so many directions this could go, and I just don't know. It would have to be really good to be better than season 1, but I'm cautiously optimistic. So we gotta wait another like month and a half.